I think what's most interesting is the technology's removing barriers, where you can start to have these experiences in new places and in new ways, and you can keep continuity of the experience. Early on with computer vision tracking, it wasn't as robust as it is today, so people would move in and out of the experiences as tracking was lost. Now, as we understand the environment, you can open up these stories to move around the room that you're in and even be shaped by it. I think the idea of having a story be larger if you're in a much larger space or outdoors is really exciting, or smaller and more intimate if you're in your living room. I think it's an exciting level of personalization and a way to really extend the storytelling in new ways.
Just come out from a panel, and the main outtakes from it would be that although augmented reality is becoming increasingly important as a medium, it needs to be an extension of what the client is already doing, and it also needs to be measurable, metricable and reportable to the client. Hugely important for them to justify the budget that's involved.
And what you've got to realise with augmented reality, is it novelty or is it necessity? And the necessity comes from the gamification of augmented reality. It becomes it's an actual educational tool, it's a medical tool, it's something that unlocks achievements, rewards, something that helps you, take you on a journey. Narrative belongs to it. So augmented reality isn't a campaign in itself, but can be part of a campaign. It can be part of something beautiful, but if you're looking on its own right, it's not really particularly great. And I think that's the obsession, is geeks love augmented reality because of this 3D stuff, but the general public, once they've seen it, that novelty's worn off. So use it as a channel, but don't obsess about it, because that's not what it's about. Obviously the technology is changing, and AR now where you can scan 3D objects is really interesting. So stuff that we're doing is where we've got treasure hunts, we've got things that are using physical locations where people are using either GPS and with augmented reality together, getting people to go on journeys, adding a level of engagement that wasn't there previously. AR can be that tool, but not the only thing to do it. I guess that's what we're trying to say with AR.
So the conference has been absolutely fantastic. It's as I said when I stood up at the start, it's a real honour to be invited to speak, but it's also such a pleasure to have something like this on in Dublin. So having the likes of Daqri and all of the other companies, Blippar, who are internationally recognised as being leaders in this space, coming to Dublin and speaking at an event such as this, which I believe is the first of its kind in Ireland, is really heartening. We've been through a difficult time in the last few years in Ireland, and to see the recovery and to see the innovation and how that's supported the likes of this conference is fantastic.